Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you've only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality gaze. Let's love. You know, I think it's risky, but if it doesn't work out, hopefully you'll get a good cup of coffee anywho. Kathleen wins this episode.
I was going to do a quote and quotable for her.
Oh, I forgot about it.
I was going to do strong tea, give me strong tea with quote and quote.
She had other ones. What was another thing she said? Let's just jump right into Kathleen.
Y'all, that's the toy shop proprietor named Kathleen with 2 pairs of glasses.
I love this woman. She's really pretty underneath all of her. She's wearing a hat.
Wow, flying to another country. Yeah, you're gonna. I think you're in for a surprise. And but if it doesn't work out, I hope you get a good cup of coffee out of it.
Anyhow, that's what's my favorite thing. Anyhow,
because he's going to Colombia. Yo, this is Mike from Colombia,
and this is Reality Gaze.
Mike from upstate New York, Thiels, New York, which is in Rockland County. And
I'm bored.
If you know where Rockland County is,
I don't.
It's kind of Hudson Valley adjacent.
Not familiar,
but it's not near New York. Probably at least an hour and a half out.
Oh, okay.
Maybe at least an hour.
Yo, welcome to Reality Gaze. It's part 2 of Before the 90 Days, season 5, episode 2. Catching Flights and Feelings are part 2 because we talked forever long.
And check out our announcements on our previous episode.
Yeah, we'll be brief, but we'll mention the live show in Chicago. You want to check that out? We've got tickets for that on Friday. We'd like to sell out what we
Friday, January 7th.
Yep, got to be vaxxed. We've got our Patreon holiday show on our $15 tier of our Patreon. If you're on that, y'all, this is a good month to be in the $15 tier.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get the Patreon holiday.
You're going to get raw
dog. But you're also going to get the video of our gay
Ronnie
crappins.
And Ben and I from Watch What Crappens, and you and two.
I'm glad I wasn't there.
Ronnie and Ben and I did a great show.
I'm glad I just was sitting over there just edging. What was I doing? Oh, we refilled our drink, did we? Anyway,
Christmas came early.
Yeah. So, y'all, and we want to remind people, you can give the gift of Patreon, a year-long subscription.
Buy it for your mother, your husband, your wife, your sister.
Buy it for your
homophobic boss.
Buy it for your kind of just angry, mean mother-in-law and say, I think you should listen to this. And the next thing you know, we'll make her a dick pig.
She'll maybe be nice to you.
She'll maybe be nice to you.
No, she hates you.
I think that's basically it. Oh, and last but not least, if you want a cameo from both of us, sorry, too late. Poodle's already.
That's my favorite.
Poodle's in South Carolina as you're listening to this.
Yes,
he is already here, wishing he was back in LA.
I'm already on Grindr in South Carolina, looking.
But you can't because of Omicron.
Oh my God!
Fix that.
I can't even have sex.
Fix that.
Oh God!
It sounds like a robot, doesn't it? Omicron.
Omicron.
Transform.
More than meets the eye. Omicron. I will not defeat you, Optimus Prime.
Omicron, you will lose in the end.
You're not going to get dick from with me this year.
Omicron.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. I think that's it. Right.
Can we talk about Mike?
Okay, y'all. New cast member.
The new cast member. This is the one that I think Kyle from Cray Cray said looked like he blamed me for it. That he said looked like a minion, and I said no, it looks like a minion fucked Wallace and Gromit.
Yes.
The thing about Mike, y'all, is it looks like he's wearing prosthetics, but he's not.
What do you mean?
It kind of looks like he's wearing
He's just like kind of like, you know.
But his features look like they were put on.
They do a little bit. It's not necessarily symmetrical.
And every time he's on my screen, all I can think of is there's so much bald head. It covers like 2/3 of the surface area on my screen.
There is. I did it first, although I will say
it's so much head.
Watching his segment, I really like him. I have such a soft spot for him because he's a nerd, y'all. And I think I'm gonna have like a good conversation with him.
And this girl's gonna eat him up. And
she's
spit
gonna
him
eat
out.
him up. Well, we don't know anything about her yet, but I can just imagine.
Come on, you don't troll for people like Mike. And if you're a good person,
I mean, we know that like she said something.
You can tell by her filtered pictures.
Yeah, and she kind of has those kind of look at me Yennefer tattoos.
Yeah.
I'm not in a good place. Y'all, I really like, he's putting together Legos and he talks about how
he's a nerd.
He's an IT
nerd alert.
He is.
Yeah, because you know what? This is the person you are inside.
Kind of, in a way. In a way, though, you.
And I make fun of people like this.
Yeah, that's because you won't admit that you're a Trekkie.
Maybe.
I bet you he's watched Star Trek and you can talk about it.
I can see, and y'all, the crew, none of this gets by the crew because they show him like pushing and adjusting his glasses.
There's just moments of him they want to, and even the music they played was like something that would be
sounded like in like Ready Player One.
Yes, or not like a John Hughes movie. Yeah, or no, Weird Science. Is that a John Hughes movie?
I don't know.
I loved Weird Science.
Should be.
Remember that when the guys were just like in their underwear and everybody's talking about how hot she was.
Oh,
but you
yes.
see the guy in their tidy and just one of them,
yes.
You just saw ball sacks.
And they were all like 30 but playing teenagers.
Loved it. Yes, he's an IT support tech.
Emilio Estevez in Breakfast Club? No, you don't because you never saw that movie until recently.
But but I knew who Emilio Estevez was because he married Paula Abdul, and I was in love with Paula Abdul, so I had to look him up.
That's right.
I had to buy the bops to figure out who he was.
Yeah.
Ow. They divorced, and then I thought maybe I'll be with Paula one day.
Spoiler alert.
We're both better off. We're both better off. So Mike
he's playing with Legos. He loves models.
Yes, he's an
IT support because
technician.
Of course he is.
He's
also a volunteer firefighter.
He's a volunteer firefighter.
So thank you, Mike. We appreciate that.
I'm just like, I love this guy. And
I think he has a good heart.
Yeah. That's what I'm worried about.
She's gonna pop it out of his chest.
Yes.
Like Kali Ma style.
Yes.
And
yes.
Yeah, she will.
He is this sweet little like dove with nerdy glasses.
No.
That I just want to go say fly, and then I'm going to hear.
Now,
and she shot him.
We've already seen in previews that she freaks out on him a couple times and tells him he smells and that he's disgusting to her.
And that she says, "I'm not in love with you, but I love you."
What is that?
That's what we hear her say later on, and he's like running around. I just want to like take this little.
No, he's a fucking mark. Let's just say this: he's a fucking mark for her.
But he also, maybe I love him so much because God, I just went through this, y'all. He's a caretaker. This is a caretaker
for his
episode.
dad and his grandfather.
For his dad and his 94-year-old grandfather, y'all. He is sitting there trying to cook breakfast, and I hear,
and they are micromanaging him.
This was every day of my life for a year in Oklahoma.
That's why you sympathize with him because you don't love yourself.
I'm Mike. I love him because I am him, y'all. I'm sitting there trying
that's sad.
Matthew, is that how much milk you want to pour in that Cinnamon Toast Crunch? I don't think that's enough. Just going to taste like hay when I'm eating it. Okay, Daddy, I'll get you more milk. All right.
What
Matthew,
about the canned tamales?
Why is this bacon so crispy? Who wants crispy bacon?
Everyone.
Not my father. He wants meat somewhat soft so he can chew on the fat.
Who wants soft bacon?
Some people want softer bacon. I don't understand it.
Animals.
Boy, y'all, here's my...
Now, I don't want ultra crispy. I don't want
ultra crispy. No.
But I need a little bit of crispiness.
I know.
Now I can taste bacon.
And we talked about bacon last episode, too.
Bacon!
Anyway, y'all, I I'm just saying this now. I think Mike is an angel on earth, and I love this man, and I want all the good things.
What
for
if
him.
things turn out for him and he's an absolute creepazoid?
You know what? I have thoughts about Caleb that I think are going to turn on me anyway.
Me too.
And
Me
so,
too.
but
I still can't get over how it looks like he's wearing a skin suit on his head. Like,
I know.
There's so much, like, the surface area of his head I can't get over.
He has a big bald head,
And there's just so much skin.
to me he looks like a real life Charlie Brown character.
Yes.
I mean, to me he looks.
Yes.
I mean, if somebody just painted like a black circle
That's
with a
even
Sharpie,
more brutal.
y'all. I know. Come at me, but I guarantee you, he has gone as Charlie Brown on Halloween before. Because all he had to do was wear shorts and a T-shirt and then just paint a little black eyeliner.
They showed pictures of his family, and like he's the oldest, you guys, and his two younger brothers are.
His one brother's hot,
seemingly more attractive, and it's like, and you have that with like certain members of the family, and you're like, it's interesting what happened here.
Yeah,
and he doesn't really look like his father or his grandfather.
No, he doesn't. We don't know about his mother.
Maybe mom carried the grommet gene.
Maybe, but mom died.
Wallace. Oh, I should talk about this.
So yeah, there's that. Mom died of pancreatic cancer. So
gene.
yeah, that's just let you sit with that poodle.
I'm
what
the
would
worst
what
person
would
in
your
the
mother
world.
say if she heard you say that?
Shape hurt. But then she go, you're kind of right. Yo, my mother's got a mean streak to her. She'd like it.
Yeah, I know. You're just like her. So she died of pancreatic cancer. So that's one reason why he's been taking care of his.
What's not colon cancer?
Oh, colon cancer. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. And that's why he's been single for 20 years. He hasn't been in a relationship
Since he was 14.
Since he was
34.
in high school. Since he was in high school.
Now,
So, which I want to
this
talk
could
about
be
that.
extreme shyness.
There could be extreme. I want to talk about that too. I mean, I dated like here and there, but as far as like a long-term relationship, I was not in a relationship for 15 years, and you were not. You've dated and fucked around, but what? You had like 6 or 7 years that you were like single.
Yeah.
And I just want to say I think people feel like if you're single for a long time, there's something wrong with you. Or I think for him, he is super shy. But like for us, I think we were busy and we knew what we wanted.
Yeah, he's also awkward.
I know. I just want to put that out there for
but
since he's watching this. I'm single for 10 years. That's fine.
I want to
figuring
say
out you.
It's more acceptable. Not acceptable. It's more common for LGBT people to be single because there is a.
Well, we don't have the clock too of.
Also, yeah, true.
More
but
men,
also
but we don't
there
have
is
kids
this
yet.
kind of delayed adolescence for us that we don't get to have our.
Yo, we gotta fuck
hoe
around.
period.
We gotta fuck around.
And some of us never get out of that hoe period. What?
I'm looking to if you're on the intimate portrait, you're seeing who I'm pointing at, and it's not me.
Gunk gunk.
Gunk gunk.
Sorry, I didn't mean to finger you like Captain Sandy, person who's sitting here.
Yeah, and so he says that he couldn't. So the grandpa and them were shading him for making pancakes. Meanwhile, he's talking about that. He
was on a dating app.
Dating app couldn't find anybody, so he changed his location to Colombia, and then he met someone.
I have a feeling that seems arbitrary. Colombia. I feel like there's maybe a little more to it, but
I think so too.
Maybe this is the first one he got a hit off of. So
maybe.
But anyway, he met Ximena, who's 24, and they've been talking for a year now, and she's the first person who she's fallen in love with. He's fallen. I'm sorry, you're right. And she has 2 children, and the thing is,
main problem is just the language.
And y'all,
that's it.
This is going to be a Jihoon Devon situation they're going to be talking through a translator app. Probably most of the time.
Because he said, I speak a little Spanish, and he said she speaks only Spanish.
English. Yeah.
No English.
No Inglés.
But he says, but I think communication will be better in person. I'm like, but you don't have a translator. It might not be.
Anyway, he's talking to Steven.
His brother. They're in the firehouse.
He is, by the way, like all before the 90s shells. He's going to Colombia soon.
He is.
His younger brother is also a firefighter. And he does say...
They're doing stuff in the firehouse.
Oh, and it's kind of hot.
Checking tools.
His brother's hot.
Also, because he talks about it. So don't come at us saying short shamers and tall shamers. Because one time I said somebody was hot because they were tall, and then we got a message.
You're obsessed with it, though.
Saying, you shouldn't shame short people. I went, I'm not shaming short. But he brings it up. He's like 5'4".
Yeah.
Because he's like, my brother's 5'9". And then y'all literally, they cut to him again adjusting his glasses.
And y'all, I've made fun of his appearance, but... And I know that's not nice, but how can you not? It's just, there's so much head. Heed! It's like that. So I made an axe murderer. Heed, move down. Sorry.
I hope you bring a lot of sunscreen for hell. You're gonna be burned.
You know what? All the interesting people are gonna be there. All you dick pigs will be there with me. So you're not going there. You're not going to heaven.
Listen here, Huck. If you want to go to heaven, no. That was a deep cut in musical theater.
Big River.
Big River.
Listen here, Huck. If you want to go to heaven, you want to go to heaven. It's a great musical.
Oh, love that show.
Not the original cast album. That's hard to listen to.
Yeah.
Except for River in the Rain, which makes me cry like a baby. Or Worlds Apart. Oh,
that's a beautiful song.
Worlds Apart. I can tear up thinking about Worlds Apart. Oh my God.
Oh, speaking of
Big River.
You said, okay, we'll do it after Mike, but you said you want to talk about West Side Story.
Okay, I'll talk about it
after Mike, but after the commercial, we'll talk about West Side Story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, where was I? Oh, they're in the firehouse.
And the brother...
That's where we find out his mother died 9 years ago.
The brother
of colon
says,
cancer.
you're the happiest I've seen since Mom passed away. So obviously...
Because he says when she died
was a seminal part in his life.
He said when
it was a real.
I think it kind of. 9 years? He's 34 now, so he was he was 25. That I think you're kind of on the edge of child manhood, and I think it somehow just.
Well, seeing he seems to have awkward problems with other people, I bet he was super close to his mother.
I was just about to say, I bet he was very close to his mother and probably babied by her.
And he lives at home because he can't really move on.
He
probably
still
hasn't moved on from it yet.
He probably still has dreams of just having conversations with his
also
mother.
Says
just going
to You're worse than I am. You're evil. That's sorry. You know what? When people like to say on the podcast very and they say it like they're like, Maddie's the nice one and Poodle's the kind of one who's kind of mean. Remember, he says shit like this, and I'm just so upfront about it.
What was the other joke that I said that was really dark? And people went, whoa. I forgot. It was on a Patreon episode, I think.
There's so many of them.
Every once in a while.
I'm just kind of like... That was the deathbed conversation. Stop it! We just lost Patreon members for that.
Oh. Okay.
That's appalling. I just gotta say. So anyway,
but he says he's thinking about proposing.
Sorry.
Steven says, you don't really know her secrets come out, and being with someone for 2 weeks is not that for anyone. There's secrets that come out.
Yeah, and she says, she always asks. She's like, no, I think that she's really the one for me because she cares for me because she always asks if I've eaten breakfast or lunch. And just the idea that she's somehow
I missed that.
interested in him and his routine, because I guarantee you his father and grandfather are used to him providing for them and just doing things and appreciating. They don't appreciate him.
And if they do, they seem like these are men of a certain age and culture that you don't
they kind of make fun of him. And
because I was very lucky. My dad would tell me all the time how much he appreciated me. But I will say, when you are y'all, again, shout out to caretakers because it's very difficult. And when you are a caretaker, a lot of times people would ask me, like, just tell me what you need. If you need anything, just let me know. And that's very thoughtful. But at the same time, you're kind of like, I just want someone to take care of me. Like, I don't want to even have to express needs.
And that's exactly
what he's looking for, I think.
Is he just wants someone to ask him how he's feeling today. Did you eat breakfast? Did you eat lunch?
And probably when he's there, like, if she does, someone who just cooks him a meal without even asking, just does things for him.
Now, my thought was she's practicing her English by saying,
wow.
What did you eat?
Oh my God, that is what you learn in like 101 language classes.
What did you have for breakfast? What about lunch?
Oh, wow.
So that's where my brain goes.
So we're terrible people.
We.
Anyway,
and he tells Steven, so she would move in with me and Dad and Pop. Can you imagine her and her two young children moving into that house? That house that, I don't know if you saw, clutter is everywhere.
Well, sometimes, just the wall of beer steins alone, those would get ruined in like 5 minutes.
True.
Because she has like a 7-year-old and like a 5-year-old.
3.
Whatever, little.
It doesn't matter.
I would also, who was it? Wait. I'm trying to think. Who was it on 90 Day Fiancé that brought their girlfriend home with their mother and the mother was horrible, but amazing?
Russ?
No. An old season that we watched.
Keep going. Patreon. Keep going. I'll get it soon.
He was American.
Details.
She was, I think, from actually, I think she was like from Colombia, but the mother was like from Puerto Rico or like Cuban.
Fernando. Fernando and
what is her name? Mary. Sissy Mary is screaming right now.
She's from. I don't think she was she from Colombia? She was sweet. Fernando was the guy.
Fernando, sorry, we gotta look it up.
No, the mother was Cuban and she was shady as fuck.
Shady as fuck.
She's like, and the mother would say, "It's the white powder making them crazy."
Yeah. Oh, it was those two, and it was Fernando Carolina, who I think is still together.
They're still together. I liked her a lot. He seemed very oily to me.
He's
always.
True. But yeah, he seemed oily. But y'all,
his mother was truly
shady
terrible.
As fuck. That also reminds me. We should have talked to us on the last episode.
She was nicer near the end, but the beginning she was so awful to poor Carolina.
She was. We're gonna take a commercial in a second, but before we take a commercial, I'm interrupting a little bit because I just want to, y'all. Holy shit! We just now are into season 2 of Happily Ever After on our Patreon. We just watched the chicken feed episode. And we just watched the Not You Angry Slut.
No, we just watched Chicken Feet. Bitch Ass Slut Ass Whore is coming up
next
this week.
I just want to say thank you because one reason that we chose to do Classic 90 Day from our Patreon is because y'all always come at us and say, just wait till you see this.
I can't wait till you see this episode.
Between the family Chantel, between fucking Anfisa and
Bring me my bag.
We just had the dinner with Lourdes and Anfisa where Lourdes is like, did you spread your legs?
Do you spread your legs? Yeah.
And Anfisa, and then she has that lunch with her friend who has fucking bruised lips because she just got her lips done. And then, and Juan just like totally
Juan and Pal and
Russ
Russ.
for filth. And anyway, this is a great season of our Patreon.
It is.
So I just want to say, that's on our $5 or our Supercast. That's on the $5 tier, and we're enjoying it thoroughly.
It's very fun.
Sorry, KDD. I went off on a tangent.
No,
let's go to commercial.
We're going to commercial. We'll be right back.
All right.
Okay. If John and Nelsie don't make an appearance later on the season,
I want them on Pillow Talk.
I mean, I've been friends with Mike like years, and
he has been.
We met at a time when I was trying to be the fourth Beastie Boy, and like he was street and stuff.
He was this close,
and like they said that my eyebrow gauge was too weird, and at the time it's like whatever.
They weren't ready,
and like I was basically trying to like promote my band at the time, which is kind of like a cross between ska and polka, pole ska.
They were called Hit Sticks. Loved them. Loved them.
Y'all, this couple is everything.
I love them. And
I don't know how Mike became friends with them, but get them on
I tell
camera.
you, the cast of put Ingrid, put Kathleen, put them all on Pillow Talk.
Oh, please.
You know, they should have a season of Pillow. It's called Pillow Talk Shop Attendants. And it's just all the different shop attendants just going, what in the fuck?
I just need to tell you, my mother called me earlier. She called during her earlier show.
Yeah, you said I'll call you back.
And my mother said, I'm getting ready for bed. She just texted me, I'm getting ready for bed. She's like, I just needed to know what creamer you wanted in your coffee.
Do we need a pause for you to call your mother back?
No, it was just said with so much dismissal. Like, in other words, guess you're too busy for me. Just wanted to hear about your creamer. Because I have like a new creamer issue every time I get home. It's like, I can't keep up.
Why? What creamer do you... Just half and half.
Well,
that's all you
drank
ever
when
I
was doing half and half.
And you don't do that anymore?
I only do... I've cut out dairy. I've cut out most dairy.
Oh, okay.
So I do oat milk. This is such an LA conversation. I do mostly oat milk. The extra creamy variety, which is in coffee creamer, or I do coconut creamer. If someone can give me a name of a creamer that's something that tastes like dairy creamer, that's close enough to dairy without being dairy, I haven't found anything that is a substitute for half and half yet. I haven't found anything.
Send it to Jake It or Fake It. Please do not send it to Reality Gaze because I don't give a shit. So
my poor mother.
Your poor mother. So y'all, John.
I just don't know anymore.
John and Nell. So they were basically. So they have kids. So they're going to go toy shopping.
Because I do not know what must to relate to children. So I will figure out how to get children's toys for my friend John and Nelsie.
Yeah, and John's like, well, okay. And they're like, what do you think? He's like, well, it's Mike's first relationship, and ooh, God bless. God bless.
I'm telling y'all, he's like the fourth Beastie Boy. It's that kind of like white guy.
I love
toughness.
I love it. So now they're checking out. Again, we talked about Kathleen. She's wearing 2 pairs of glasses. Like y'all, the production crew loved this woman. Loved her.
So
because she said. Y'all, she's like, oh, you made some very nice selections.
Very nice selections.
Who
here
are these
with the toys.
for? Who are these for? They're like, oh,
well, they're actually
and
for...
Mike, Beastie Boy, says.
But it's like, he's going down to Columbia. He's going down to Columbia to see this chick he barely knows.
And that's what she goes, oh.
Well, that's going to be very interesting.
Very
it's going to be a surprise. If it doesn't work out, I hope you get a good coffee out of it anyway.
Yeah. They should be happy with the toys anywho. So
can't go with coloring books.
They leave the toy store and Nelsie is kind of like,
let's have a conversation.
She's like, let's talk. And she's like, are you sure you want to do this? And John talks about, I've seen how hard you've been working.
Yeah.
And because y'all IT technician, they make some money, but they don't make a ton of money.
It's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours.
And he
says
he's been helping her with rent and her refrigerator and her washing machine. So he's helping her when things get bad. She calls him. He gives her money.
And they've been together how long? What, 9 months?
Yeah. And which is not very long to be giving her money.
No, not at all.
And he said, how do you know all these? John's like, how do you know he's like the guy in Colorado, a guy in like Virginia, a guy in Kuala Lumpur, and like everything. And you know what? John has a point.
John does have a point.
And he does one thing at the end. He's like, glasses adjust. And then Mike's like, this is like not red flags. This is like nuclear submarine. We are launching the codes.
There's an air horn across the country. It just came on your TV.
We're at DEFCON 5.
You're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked.
Bring him on the tell-all.
Put him on the tell-all.
Put both of them on the tell-all.
If they were on Pillow Talk, if they were on next season of Pillow Talk, I would watch.
I feel like the problem with Pillow Talk is they spend way too much time on cast members instead of ancillary people who really made a statement. And
I agree with that.
And if you'd put these two on
Pillow
Talk.
But sometimes it's good. Like, I will say, that Kenny and Armando
They're
are
funny.
joy because you see the relationship between them. Like Lauren and Alexi are funny, and like that's why David and Annie, because you see how they are with each other.
Tim and
what's
Veronica.
her name? Annie. Annie. What's his Robert?
Robert and Annie. Yeah,
We're fucking hilarious.
you just said that.
I meant Annie and David.
Oh,
yeah. Anyway,
so that's all I've got about them.
that's all I've got
Y'all,
about them.
I'm worried she's gonna destroy him.
I just love him. I want to hug him.
He does seem a kind soul.
He is, y'all. He's too good to be on this show.
Talk about? I agree. Can we talk about Kim, and then we'll end with Caleb and Alina?
Yes. I'm excited. I'm excited. She really moves her hands a lot.
She really does move.
She always moves her hands a lot. I'm gonna say Usman Soldier Boy, my boyfriend. We're gonna be skin to skin. Skin to skin. That's the San Diego way of riding that dick.
Skin to skin.
Skin to skin.
SKYN 2 skin.
Skin.
This is the name of my all-female hip hop group. Hip hop group in the 1990s.
I don't know why this episode put me all in my feels. It was like caretaker corner, and so I'm just like watching this, just crying for all the caretakers.
She was worried about taking care of her mom.
It was too real. This was me when I had to leave my father.
And I understand the impulse, but her mom is like, "Honey, you got to go live your own life.
You do have to go live your own life for you." I had to come back to LA and do this podcast with this shit show, but I had to. My dad said, "Matthew, you gotta go do it." And
I was like, finally, just sitting here.
It really is. You don't do shit for yourself at all when you're a caretaker.
I'm sure.
So I feel for Kim in this, and Sally was so sweet about when Sally's like, "I just want her to go see if this is her life or not, if it's gonna work or not."
I like
her mom too.
Yeah. And so mom basically says, "I hope there's a connection. And if there's not, at least she'll know. At least she'll know what's not there." And I think she knows her daughter is. This is also another level of delusion. Memphis has got it. Kim has it.
Yeah, because Kim says the whole thing of like,
also,
I've got to go take my
Mike has it, who we just talked about.
Yes, and she says, I got to go take my big chance of love. And I went, oh, because she
feels
feels like
at love.
My one chance at love. She feels like, because she's like, if I don't take it now, then it's over. Like that's how she feels. Like it's just never gonna happen again.
So y'all, I've just got to say, she keeps saying about Usman. She's like, I gotta prove to him that I am not. Yeah,
that I prove him I'm not like his ex-wife. And they show y'all. Oh, we
never see BGL.
We never. And y'all, we just so you know, we post. I forget his name. We posted it on our Instagram story. It's probably off now, but Google like. The guy who wrote an article about going on a date with Stephanie from the Single Life.
We want to follow up with him.
Okay,
because he sent us something.
Oh, he did. Oh, okay, but he wrote a great article about it's a really funny article because he's a big, huge fucking fan of the show, and he gets how the show works.
Yeah, he thinks a little of himself, but that's fine. I think,
but he also admits that.
Yeah,
but the way he talks about like, I want to go on this date, and I know
I really liked the article.
Yeah, it's really funny, but also it kind of cleared a lot of things. We won't go into all of it, but one of the things that we wondered on this show, and it's applicable to this couple, when you go on 90 Day Fiancé, they say
the show does not exist. Don't mention the show.
Don't talk about it.
This is
So that's why she's not saying I saw him from 90 Day Fiancé. And you can tell that Lisa has fucked them over because they are not giving her a bit of screen time.
And it's interesting because they don't even show her image.
No, y'all, we just saw her just.
Her hand.
Her gross kind of
monkey's
like
paw.
Monkey's paw, kind of sun-spotted hand with her gross painted on fake nails. And her just going, vulva.
Her monkey's paw.
Usman's going to marry me.
Instead of granting your wish, it gives you venereal disease.
His family doesn't understand. I don't know why I smell bad shrimp. But all I know is I'm getting raw dogged tonight. I'm getting raw dogged.
See?
The American way.
Now I think it's funny because I have some distance with it. It's so interesting because when I was seeing her before, I imagined her getting raw dogged.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's where I take myself.
Yeah.
I go there for our listeners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Skin's like, I have to prove that I'm not anything like his ex-wife. I'm nothing like his ex-wife.
This is for her hair. Because
Yeah,
her hair
she's
is
always
longer.
did her. Yeah, she's always did her hair. She's always said her hands. And she's like, I'm not anything like his ex-wife.
I don't know if you saw this. It was on Reddit somewhere, and I screamed. It had a picture of Chuck from Andre and Libby.
I did.
And a picture of the black wig. It was killed.
It did. And it was. It looks just, yeah. It's true. It's true.
So
that's all that we get. We see that she gets off in the Uber and goes away.
But the idea, y'all, this is almost done before it starts, because she's already obsessed with, quote unquote, proving to him that American women aren't this way.
That's a lot of pressure to put on yourself.
Imagine that.
Imagine.
So that's what I was going to say. Already her mindset is kind of fucked from the start. And it makes me sad. So, y'all, she's been flying for 27 hours. One more flight to Tanzania.
One more flight.
And we come in, and we're in Nigeria, and it is Usman.
It's 24 hours.
Boy.
24 hours earlier. Y'all, he's got a necklace now that says Soulja Boy on it.
The thing about it is, y'all,
or as he likes to call himself, King Africa.
King Africa. I don't know how it's possible to watch Soulja Boy's previous season and not pick up the fact he was in it to get to America and get fame.
It's
How is it possible?
Boy, this is a
not
season of
to-
delusioners.
It is.
Delusionist, whatever. Delusionals.
Delusionals.
Yes.
But like, how is it
Yeah, that's a
possible
great
to
point.
watch
How?
BGL and his season?
Yes.
And not realize
Because literally the woman Usman was in love with was less attractive than female Shrek. There's just, and she was a horrible person.
not only was she
It wasn't even
hideous,
Like, it wasn't even like she's like
she
this
was
great
garbage
person.
inside.
Yes, she was actually uglier on the inside.
Yeah.
So how could you not see? That's a great point.
That's the thing. That's why I've written off. Kim is definitely in our 90-day fiance DOA category. 90-day
you know
DOA.
what I think? It just kind of clicked. She's a caretaker. She takes care of mother, her mom, and all that. I bet you Kim, and y'all, you have sent us her son's Instagram. Thank you.
He is hot.
He is hot. This is a big jump, okay? This is a big jump. I'm taking a big jump. So this is a theory. None of this is, but I see Kim being wanting to be a savior to people and wanting to take care of people. And also, we know that her son, this is important, like, because we talked about this baby girl, Lisa. It's a little bit like the Angela of like American, like, appropriation, but also like there was like sometimes some racial themes where you're like baby girl Lisa doesn't even think about that she's this white blonde woman coming in to Nigeria, and I bet you Kim probably picked up because her son is black, and so I think probably I can just see her being like, she treated him so wrong.
You know,
and
I don't think you're that far off.
I can treat him well. I can be sensitive to
his issues.
And I can take care of him.
tell him I don't see his race as an issue.
Yes, I don't. I'm not going to put this American shit. I think that's it.
I still think she's just delusional and crazy as a shithouse rat.
And she's probably been. That's true. And also too, she's had a hole in her since Michael Jackson died, and Usman can feel it.
I'm telling y'all,
skin to skin. He's gonna fill my hole.
If your house is covered in collectibles, and to a point, not just moderately so, full of collectibles of one person,
I'm Wonder Woman crazy.
You've got a lot to process.
I have moderate collectibles, and they're just in my kitchen.
You've got a lot to process. Well, you have enough that's wrong with you. So that's only the tip of the iceberg,
Ooh,
really.
I want Terry's. Doesn't that sound good?
I hate you.
Let's finish it so I can go eat dinner. You're
so,
having pizza tonight after this day, aren't you? I knew
yes.
it.
Y'all, if you ever have a shitty day and you think, I need some self-care, pizza!
Yes.
And don't get Domino's.
Oh, we totally forgot to talk about West Side Story.
We'll do it after this.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, West Side people.
I know. Somebody's just waiting. So, okay, because this actually isn't much. Y'all, Usman, it's kind of, I honestly think Usman's going to be boring. This is the same beat. This is it's the same beat as last season.
He
doesn't want to be in a relationship with an American.
My goal was to have concerts all over the world and to be a bigger celebrity than Michael Jackson or Chris Brown. I'm like, great choices, honey.
Great choice.
Great choices.
Because Chris Brown and Michael Jackson could actually, I mean, personal life aside, but they could actually sing.
Yeah, but
I can't even sing.
Boy, I'm just imagining the two PR disasters that they both are.
Yeah.
So anyway, they are his whole team, including Slam T and his manager. Slam T is his assistant.
Slam T, and then there's Busy Bee.
Yeah,
or what? No, Badman. Badman. Sorry.
We gotta get her Busy Bee. Gonna find your Busy Bee right now.
I want that to be like my rock hip hop Busy Bee, but just with the B, and it'll be Bizzy, Busy Bee.
Busy Bee.
I buzz around you.
So he has been sending a pic to sending a pic to Kimberly, as he calls her. And he says, "Well, I'm not in love with her yet, but I don't want to have any relationship. Don't want to decide on a relationship before we actually meet." And they're based, and the assistant's like saying, "This is all unnecessary. We should be talking about the business." And I wrote down, this is business for him.
This is business.
This is important for him because this is the way he's going to get to fucking America, y'all.
And go his career. And
I know he can't say that, but I'm screaming at the assistant of that.
I think the assistants know it too. Yeah. They just know that. I feel like, honestly, y'all, this just was all producer.
Yeah.
Or at least,
now, I've got to say this. The one big reveal that we get, y'all.
Well, this is what I was going to call his reasoning's bullshit. He says he doesn't want to get with her. He calls her a potential relationship because he said,
potential girlfriend.
I'm nervous to get with an American woman. But he was already in love with an American woman.
Yeah.
Now, granted, and this is why I think it's different, it was a black American woman. And I think probably maybe he felt in some ways more comfortable because, y'all.
It does undercut all of his argument.
But this woman named Zara, who he wrote another song about. And he says, I was very much in love with her, but she got super jealous of fans commenting online, and we had to break up. It's over. She's gorgeous. She's like his age.
Yeah.
He probably thought, okay, I got rid of Lisa. I actually found somebody that's my age. It's more convincing.
Yeah.
And actually probably that he can have a relationship with.
I don't think
he loves any of these women.
Exactly. This is him romanticizing that relationship.
He's just trying.
He didn't love any of these women. He needed to get to America.
Yes.
This is one of the few people who is acting like they're not transparent and doing this for love. But y'all, this is actively trying to get to America for fame.
If it wasn't like such a big thing in Nigerian culture to be gay, he'd probably do it with Poodle.
Call me Soulja Boy. Actually, you know what? No.
What?
No.
Can you imagine how would Soulja Boy put Poodle in a song? I'll be there for you.
No, he'd run a new one for me. Poodle, 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 I want to come over to you and put it in your hole.
Oh, wow. That was, wow.
Talking about Poodle.
Okay. Oh, boy. All right.
Oh, I can put on a wig on your head and imagine you're a woman.
Pretty good. Just make it more auto-tune.
Well,
yeah.
Poodle.
Beautiful. So, y'all, I don't know. We don't know if she knows Zara, if she knows who even she is.
No, one of her friends said Zara sounds like a woman's name earlier. She's like, I don't know who that would be.
I hope that Zara reaches out to her on social media.
I have a feeling Zara's going to be on the tell-all.
She's going to be on the tell-all. Zara's going to be on the tell-all, y'all. And it's going to be bonkers.
I don't know who this woman is.
I don't know who this Zara is. But she probably is she's using a condom. I don't use condoms. It's skin to skin.
Oh, God.
It's skin to skin. Because I'll be there for you. Any way you want me.
Any way you want me to
the
be.
boy. The boy Usman,
he has not written Kimberly a song yet.
He is not.
And I wrote down, even one of his assistants said, do you notice the cognitive dissonance of having a woman come here to help you with your video that is a song written about another woman? And he goes, yeah, I get it. It's something, we'll have to talk about.
We'll have to talk about. It's really...
It's shitty.
You know what, actually? You know what this made me feel? It went, oh, man... I feel bad for Kimberly.
Me too.
She is so delusional.
Well,
and she seems like a... We'll see how she acts. She doesn't seem like... I know we compare her because but y'all, BGL was a horrible person.
Oh,
so
terrible.
far, maybe Kimberly will prove herself that, but so far, Kimberly seems like a pretty decent person.
I hope so. She's shown a little bit of elitism on some of the clips.
She has, so we'll see.
But
it's pretty easy, though, to throw a drink in his face.
True. But I will say we have a lot of victims this season, I feel like.
Yes, we really have people that are just like... that are running away from healing themselves and are looking for others.
Y'all, let's go to Caleb and Alina. Before we do that, I need to talk about West Side Story.
Okay.
Reminds me of a West Side Story.
I hate that song. Okay. How long can you talk about West Side Story? 5 minutes?
3 minutes.
You can talk about it in 5.
No. 3 minutes.
Poodle.
It's a fantastic
film. Can you
film.
suck that dick in 5 minutes?
Go see it now. I think this is... We had a conversation about this. I don't know if you can compare this to the original even. I don't think it's fair to compare it.
Some sissies saw it. Some sissies disagree with you in the Patreon comments.
No, I think you can compare without saying one is better than the other. Because this is a whole different film. This is a film that was made in 2021 about with the knowledge of how things were in a time of the 1950s.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't think it's fair to say one is better than the other, or one is what I would consider it more appropriate for 2021 audiences.
I disagree. I think it is fair, but I think we just...
But how in what way?
Because it's because you can't... Again, we went through this all on Patreon, but I think it is the same source piece.
But I'm saying you can compare it without saying one is...
Because what's the difference of compare? Like somebody brought up the thing, like you brought up this newer version of A Star Is Born and compared it to all the others.
Why it's different?
Which were made in different time.
Those did not radically change the story, and those were not, I would say, sensitive to certain issues of the story at that time.
Yeah.
Because what I understand that there are certain elements of West Side Story that was made in the 60s that are insensitive to today's, especially when it comes to race, things like that. But I don't think it's fair to evaluate one is better than the other on that.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I see your point. I still don't agree with you, but I see your point. Yeah.
But because I don't think it's fair to say one is better than the other based on how we see race today is very different than how 1960 saw race.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm just saying, move on. Talk about the other stuff you like. All that thing. No, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think we're gonna be exact.
But I'm saying, can I say this? Why do you think one is better than the other?
For me, I think that this was just I think this was a smarter use of the music.
You know what? I totally agree with it. I said that when I walked out.
It felt like this as a script. It cut the fat of the script and like made everything make sense.
I agree with you.
So not even talking about the race stuff.
I just don't even think that I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to talk about one being better than the other.
Okay.
That's just the way it. I think because then it gets into the idea that one is. This is so much better because it painted this into 2021 context.
But I think you're thinking about like racial things.
I think that's the only way to see it sometimes.
I don't. I'm thinking of it from a person that likes musical, that create like from a.
I totally understand that.
I thought it was a better film.
But I'm saying on Twitter, you're in the minority for people who think that's better for that.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm saying, but read some of the Patreon comments because some sissies like
no. I think it's fine to compare. Comparing is different. Is different than saying one trumps the other.
Okay.
But the singing is fantastic. I thought
is.
I'd have a problem with Ansel and Gorgeous Tony. I did not. The way they used music and the way they repurposed music, and when Marina Moreno sings Somewhere, I lost my mind.
I kind of wish you wouldn't have said that because it's such a. I didn't know it was happening, so it's a spoiler for me.
Too late.
Too late. But it's beautiful.
No one will be spoiled. Who's not obsessed
It's
with
been
it.
out for a while now.
Yeah.
But it's when she did that, I lost my mind.
It is glorious. The
dancing's fantastic.
I think that I would encourage anybody who says that the 1960 or 50s work that was of its time, I would encourage you to read press from back then, because it was not of its time back then. It was very looking ahead.
Yeah.
For even to have people with
it's a fantastic
brown
film.
faces, as much as there were brown faces put on screen, as much as there was extra brown added, having them as main characters.
Yeah.
So, what I'm saying is, I don't like the demonization of the original film that I'm seeing now.
No, I think I'm not doing that, and I think that I think that is. We wouldn't have this film,
right? But I'm saying what people in
we wouldn't have this film now.
People in the same breath of saying this one is.
But
more
they realize
important.
this wouldn't be created and be done if it wasn't
I don't think
for that original.
I don't think they're thinking about that.
Yeah, you got to think about that. I'm calling it now. I think
it's going to win all the awards.
I think she's going to, like you said when we came out, I think she's going to win an Oscar.
I will say
for
this:
the same movie twice.
Do I think that this production of West Side Story is a fantastic musical? Yes. It's definitely one of the best movie musicals I've ever seen.
It's like, you know what? It does remind me of like.
One more thing. I just don't think I can compare it to the West Side Story I saw as a child that I saw as age 12.
Yeah.
And what that did for me, for musicals. And I see them as just living in different universes.
Yeah. They are. I think they are.
Yeah.
And they're very different. This version of this musical did like,
it's so good,
it was
you guys.
So smart. It was like the way Chicago took the show, the way that it made I just couldn't believe I thought. If you asked me before, I'd been like, "Oh, I hope they don't change anything." And all the changes, I went, "Why didn't someone think of that earlier?"
I had so much trepidation going in.
Yeah, I was
when
just
I first
like, that
heard
makes
about
so
it,
much sense.
When I first heard about it, I said, "Absolutely not. I'm not seeing it."
That's what I said like 2 years ago too, and I was like, "So go see it." And you should go see musicals anyway. Not good ones.
At one moment, when they were doing the cool fugue and it's in a different place.
Yeah.
At one moment, I said, "This is the most exciting musical sequence I've ever seen on screen."
It was, yeah. It was.
And the way it combined music and the way it was shot, the way...
Yeah. The lighting. Oh. The lighting was glorious. And the art direction. Oh, it was great.
I would say if you see a movie...
Go see it. We just read theaters are still safe. If you go to a theater, wear a good
2
mask.
hours and 45 minutes, I want to say, it flies by. I promise you.
And
I don't say that because I always check my watch.
She does.
But
you didn't even get up and go to the bathroom, did
once.
You? Wow.
Yeah. But I'm telling you guys, if you see a movie this Christmas season, please see West Side Story. I promise you, I will. If you don't like it, I'll pay for your ticket. I'll pay you.
Carl, I guess we're going to need to go see Sing 2. I was excited about it, but it's not now. My poot says no.
That bitch will go see Sing 2 and love it. It'll be her favorite fucking movie.
I just love how, I can't believe porcupines can sing like that.
By the way, I was informed that my brother has already bought tickets for me and my oldest nephew and my niece. The youngest one is staying behind, which is great because all three of them at one time to see a movie doesn't work for me.
I'm excited.
I'm not. But I don't know. And y'all, the thing is, when you're watching your niece and nephew, you can't drink because who knows if they're going to do something or run out in the street.
Yeah.
So I appreciate everyone saying have a couple shots before. I don't do that before I'm going to watch my niece and nephew.
I bet. Do you think Do you, when you go out and take your niece and nephew on your own, is your thought, the base thought of your head, don't let them die, don't let them die?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. No, it's like they're going to choke on their food.
Yeah.
What's going to happen when my niece chokes on her food? Have I read up on the Heimlich enough?
That's actually very sweet.
What's going to happen when my nephew, my oldest nephew, falls trying to act like he's doing a karate move and falls on the pavement and a car runs over him?
That's very sweet. You're a good uncle.
I don't know.
Warrior.
I'm always
You would be
worried.
a mess if you had children.
I think
maybe you get over it.
I think I get over it. Let's talk about Caleb and Alina.
Okay.
It's going to be long. Y'all, Caleb's got his long hair going on where this is a full-on Antonio Banderas from An Interview with the Vampire.
It is.
It's creeping me out. I do not like it. Sam, I am.
I'm into it.
No.
I don't know why
like
I'm into it.
The drummer from like Fleet Foxes or some other group.
I was into it. I think it's so pretty. I think it looks better than when it's pulled back. I think it's more flattering to his face.
I guess it's so straight though. It's not. I think if it has some body and a little curlier.
I'm into it. Remind me of it's because of Brad Pitt in the Interview with the Vampire.
That's where I go, but I go to Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
Which kind of creeped me out.
They should have kissed.
That was a hot movie.
That was R.I.P. Anne Rice.
I think if it
She
was
just
made
passed
now,
away.
I think we would have seen Lestat fucking Brad Pitt.
I don't know anybody who could be hot enough to do that. Maybe the guy from Bridgerton.
Ooh. I don't know. Who would be hot enough to do that now? You know who would be hot enough? In a really kind of feminine way. The guy from American Horror Story, Cody Fern.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's like a movie star yet.
No.
But like Andrew Garfield could do it. I think he could have the sexy. Although he's kind of weird, quirky.
Boy,
Who
I'm
would
really
do it?
thinking do you feel like, I feel like everybody says this, but do you feel like there's just...
You know what? I don't know. It'd be Pattinson. They'd cast Robert Pattinson to do it because that's, even though I don't think he's the most
He's already
attractive.
done it. I guess they did it in our day and age for Twilight.
They'd be him in a second if they remade
A lot
it.
of people dislike him, but I actually like him in some things as an actor.
I liked him a lot in the Little Ashes movie where he was jerking off as Salvador Dali.
Lord Jesus. I think he'll be a good
Yo,
Batman.
they made that movie for me.
Oh, Lord. So he's going to Turkey.
He's going to go meet with his parents first.
Speaking of height, I wrote, he is very tall.
He is quite tall.
Because, y'all, he is like a foot taller than their...
than his Santa Claus father.
Than his Santa Claus father. And the refrigerator. His head was above the refrigerator.
I agree. He's probably 6'3", 6'4".
Do you want to do it now or no?
No, I've said this before.
Oh,
did you? It's a big penis.
I think it's a big penis, too.
And it could not be telegraphed even more
When he
he's
wears...
like, also brought condoms.
And they were magnums.
If y'all... Trust me, a bitch knows what a Magnum box looks
Yeah,
like.
I do, too.
A bitch knows what a Magnum box looks like.
It's all I bought for about, 7 years. And they weren't for me. Yeah, just say.
Yeah, you know what the box looks like.
Yeah. You know what?
As soon as he's like, brought condoms, I went, oh,
Yeah,
cool.
y'all-
And I'm like, yeah, you did.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's a big dick.
It's a big dick.
the big dick. Big dick.
It's
a flex. What the all those condoms, those Magnum condom box was a flex.
It was a flex. Now he said, I grew up in a very Christian home, and my parents. I hope they're
Show
supporting-
me trauma.
a very Christian home, and he said, I don't know how my parents are going to feel about this, and I hope they're supportive. But he sits down and he says, well. I was going to grab a suitcase from you because I'm going to Turkey. And his
To see a
mom
friend.
Mom goes, huh? What?
They're just like, yeah, you travel all over the world, honey. We know that.
And Caleb says, well, I'm going to meet a friend. And he kind of starts telling her about everything. He said, she's this and that.
She's very artistic.
They're like, okay.
She's a singer.
Okay.
I guess she's not going to mention, my pussy's got Wi-Fi. Initiate vagina sequence.
And then he said, and she's a little person. And the dad goes, y'all, you could see this was like,
this is like the vein in his head start pulsing.
And you could see like, it's like when what I feel like when I used to meet people that were, if they were like very like religious and they found out I was gay, they would go, And they're just trying.
You mean they found out that means you spoke or moved in front of them?
Some people don't know. Hey. No, I'm saying there's people that are that clueless.
Like maybe Nell?
People like
Tay
Memphis.
in the wind?
People like Memphis. Just completely clueless.
Or Kim. Kim would say, oh my God, you're so attracted to me.
So attracted.
Skin, you want to go skin to skin with me?
You want to go skin to skin?
You're very attractive.
You're very, very, very sensual. Very sensual.
Sensual.
And so the dad starts asking, he's like, mom's like, oh, okay, well, and then he talks about her height. And then the dad height, yes, that's what, did I say height?
You said height.
Oh, I did. What the fuck
because of your
is
list.
happening?
It's my upstairs neighbor.
Jesus.
She's now rolling around on a medicine ball.
Just
y'all, she had the ball bearings out yesterday, just dropping them on the floor. I don't know what she does. I swear to God. I don't know what. She's always dropping a bag of something.
I'm going to have to get Burger King now. I'm just getting hungry.
Wow.
And late and dealing with her. No, but so they're asking all fine questions.
How tall is she?
How can she get around? Like how easy for her?
He says, and the good thing here is, y'all, he's not lying. He says she's 3 feet tall.
Yeah, he's not lying. And even the mom says like, well, dad's like, well, and he's like, well, she can walk, but she gets tired pretty easily. And dad said, you like to go and do things. And y'all, Caleb's like an outdoor adventurer and stuff like that. And he says, and do you think that'll be a problem? Caleb says, I don't think it will be, but I want to go see what her life is like. And if her being a small person that's going to make a difference. And mom says, well, what about if you have kids? And Caleb says, you're jumping the gun. We're
Which is fair.
So here's what I want to say, and I'm scared to say this because I'm afraid I'm going to get eviscerated because already maybe I'm just not, but I feel like there's some people out there that maybe are with me and maybe I'm just not seeing it, but a lot of our sissies were not fans of Caleb.
I agree. They weren't.
I'm not seeing it. I feel like, to be honest, when I see him now, like, I like him. I think he's a good guy. I may be blinded by his hotness because I'm a dick pig. Because he's good looking. He's got a nice body. I do want him to put on lip balm. His lips are always dry, but not like Paul's.
His affect is a little weird for me.
I think
if I met him in real life, I'd be able to tell right away if he was a skis or not.
It's hard to, I think it's. But right now I'm like,
because the first time I
dated
saw
someone
Andrew,
for 13 years.
The first time I saw Andrew, we knew. The first time I saw Steven, we knew.
Paul, we knew.
I'm on the fence about this guy.
I'm like, right now, everything in my...
He's not lying to his parents about her.
Everything, because there's two things that work for me, y'all. That are my sensors. Everything in my gut and my butt says it's okay.
The magnums.
Those, because
and now, the hair.
Now later on, the butt's still going to say yes, but the gut might say no.
Yeah.
That's a good my gut and my butt.
I trust my gut a little more than my butt. I don't trust my butt at all.
I don't either.
Yo, you gotta say no to the butt. Or for ladies, or even for ladies, you can say no to the butt, but for ladies, you gotta say no to the gussy.
Yeah, to the gussy.
You gotta say no to the gussy.
No.
No.
But I'm just...
She knows what she wants.
I don't feel like Caleb is doing anything... he's not saying anything like, I'm going to go over there and like get married to her.
No.
He's like, let's just see what it's like.
Yeah. And
honestly, it's more Alina who seems a little bit in fantasy land.
Yep, I agree. So anyway, they're talking about, Mom said, well, you already have a chaperone because her friend Elijah is coming, so that's good, so I don't have to come. And they're talking about children. You're right. And I think this is way too early to talk about children. The good thing here is all Alina has to say is, remember, both parents have to carry this gene for there to be anything that happens to the child.
Yeah, from what we know.
From what we know of, that she said. And so when we follow Caleb and
because
the whole way through.
I have to say, production-wise, I really loved how they did this. We're not going to talk about this, but they do Caleb, and this is the first time we've ever seen like a 1970s split screen.
This is why
of like her driving, him driving.
I have a feeling 90 Day telegraphs you guys what stories they're going to give you the most of, and which ones they are most invested in. They are very much invested in the story. It's the first time we've ever had a little person. Yeah. And they find it important to talk about. I as well do. Mm-hmm. I think it's important. And we're really invested in Gino and Jasmine.
But that's because she's gonna go out
such
like
good TV,
like a blazing fire of jealousy.
Yep. So, but I want to say this is interesting. They're going out of their way to portray these two people as looking for love. But I want to say Caleb is packing not one,
and he's
two,
packing,
but 3 things of protein powder.
I think that's
maybe summer nutritional supplements.
I think that's where people get rubbed. Like he has a protein powder. Like when his brother comes over, he's like, "What's up, bro?" But I just think that's like I know nice guys straight guys that call each other bro. I beg them to call me that, and they don't, or they do, and
or call you bitch, and then turn you over.
Don't mind that either.
So anyway.
Yes, Pontito.
Bounce the ball in your nose.
Woo, woo, woo. Oh, my boy.
So, anyway.
My boy, Pontito.
I just love it how he packs his protein powder, his tarot deck, and his condoms.
And you know what? That's all I need on a trip.
You know what? I would tolerate him doing my tarot if I could suck that big dick.
We did have a lot of sissies who do tarot who said his tarot was completely terrible.
Yeah.
But also it's known in tarot that you're going to like...
We did have some people say when they do their own... They can do your own tarot, but sometimes you're worried that it might... That's what I was worried about, that you could actually influence what you were actually getting.
Yeah, because if Poodle does his own tarot...
I'm like... Oh, come on.
Come on. He'll get a death card, and that means, that's about somebody else. You know what? I would do the same thing, too.
That means death. D for dick.
I would be terrible at it, too.
Yeah, you would.
I would.
So, anyway, Caleb is packing. He gets his brother, Josh, who is also cute.
He's cute.
To take him to the airport. And he is flying over there, and... Oh,
I will say, we should say this. Again, he said, I'm bringing the condoms, but I'm not expecting anything. Yeah. He said, but you know what? He brings... This is like... I think he's looking at this. He said, because I'm not expecting anything because I don't want to take things too fast. But also, he said, I just don't know what it's going to be like. Yeah. Like, this is like he got kind of graphic, which was really... He said, but like... Yeah, I'm not going to be able to kiss her when I make love. Yeah. So y'all,
he said sexually, a lot of things are off the table. I need to point out.
This is where I went.
I need to point out.
This is where I went.
Do we need to demonstrate this?
Just me up in the air going, mwah, 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 and Caleb going, huh, huh.
I can see your camel toe from there, and you just farted on me.
I just booted. I just didn't mean to boot. I just booted. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm 40. It happens when I put my butt up.
I've never been part of a fucking fart comedy team before. I never saw myself. I was doing jokes earlier about Commedia dell'arte, and apparently I'm doing fart comedy now.
Commedia dell'arte.
It's a parte. Move away from me. Move away from me, groundling. I can't do this. That was disgusting. Y'all, if you're not on the video, he farted in my face. I don't know where I am anymore. Wow. This is what happens when you do a show with Lenny from A Mice and Men.
I should have eaten that quinoa bowl.
I will say that Caleb. Okay. Where was I about? Oh, sex.
We were talking about sex.
I want to say that I have a feeling if he's, not to get graphic, if he is over her and pile driving her, he can make out with her in the same thing, even though she's 3 feet tall.
But he's tall and he's got a tall torso. He's saying because if she's down here, meaning she's on top of me, then I've got to pull her up to kiss her. And I actually think this is like, you know, people want to kiss somebody while you're inside them. Like, that's a very intimate thing.
Jesus.
Well,
I agree with you, but I did not expect to have it heard.
But I mean, I kind of appreciated that he said something so intimate that you usually only share with like one person in your life, unless it's Poodle. Then it's like everyone, you're like, kiss me. I don't know, you're not, kiss me.
It's like Alien, the thing going like,
I feel so sorry.
We're off the rails. Ever since you farted on me.
I'm not gonna even tell Christina when she's editing this that this
she's gonna die.
She's gonna send us messages.
And Christina, we're gonna need that amplified, that sound up. Like,
please don't put it in slow motion, Christina.
Oh yes,
please.
Yes.
Oh God. Okay.
Make it wetter if possible.
Well, y'all. So just so you know, if you're getting a lot this $15 tier. You're getting 2 holiday specials and my flatulence.
Gross. So the next thing is he's on the flight. He is getting himself ready to see her. He's like, I smell bad. And he's changing his clothes. He's doing a Darcy. This is the thing, y'all. It's not just him being arrogant and thinking, I hope she knows what she's getting. He wants to make a good impression on her.
Yeah.
And he changed his clothes. Mm-hmm. And the last thing we see is him going off to see her. Let's talk about Alina now.
Okay, yeah.
So they are picking out clothes to wear on the way there with Elijah. And she tells Elijah he's not a person who shares his emotions. And they're trying to fit all this in her clothes. Her gay best friend, Elijah. Like I said before, I think someone said, it's funny how you guys knew immediately how he was gay. I'm like, girl, are you headless?
That was... like, was that Memphis that sent us that message? I mean, y'all, he
gay
looks like,
is in every language.
It's in every language, and he looks like he's on the reboot of Sprockets.
Now is the time when Sprockets will dance.
When we dance.
Would you like to touch my monkey? I loved, y'all. If you didn't, where a lot of my comedy, I don't know if you did. I was obsessed with Saturday Night Live.
I was too.
And do you watch Kids in the Hall when you were younger? Maybe not.
No, we didn't get that.
You discovered that later.
I did.
I would stay up late and watch Kids in the Hall because it came on after Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
on my NBC.
Oh, never did for us. It was something else.
It was banned by Oklahoma.
Probably.
Men in dresses. But y'all, Kids in the Hall.
I would watch SNL, but even the old version, I would watch they would show them like on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
So I'd watch the 70s, but I also would watch, I really got into SCTV.
Oh, I never saw that.
And so, which was like,
but
that was all like John Candy
but I swear,
what's
y'all,
his name from Schitt's Creek?
Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
But no, that informed my comedy so much.
For sure. That
and just like what I think is funny.
I think that and the Carol Burnett Show were the most, that and 80 sitcoms.
And a lot of sitcoms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all, that's what you're getting
that's
here
why
at Reality
That's why I'm bringing a fart joke. You're welcome.
No, that wasn't funny. That wasn't a joke either. That just happened. Christina, I'm going to need you to take the volume way up for that and make it, like I said, make it wetter and grosser.
I am never going to live that down.
No, it's gross. Filthy.
And actually, we have done a fart joke before. What did we do a fart joke? Oh, that was for Cabaret.
Yeah. So
Alina is
they're putting stuff in the suitcase, and if you don't think he's gay now, she's like, just sit on top of it, and he tells Alina, be the top, and he's like, who's the bottom? She's like, the suitcase.
So she's getting nervous because she wants Caleb to see her as more than just a little person. But they arrive in Turkey, and she sees Maria, her friend. And they're driving. Basically, Maria's picking them up at the airport, and she's driving them. And Maria's like, well, are you staying in another room? And Alina's like, no, we're staying in the same room. It's been 13 years.
And she's like, well, okay.
Which you forget, y'all. This has been 13. Out of all these relationships, they've actually...
They know each other in a way much better than anybody else does. So
that's
why they've actually laid the groundwork to have something online more than anyone else.
That's true. Although you would think that Caleb would have gotten a handicap accessible hotel.
And this is the thing.
I know you don't think of that. Like when I was booking hotels for my dad, and when he was progressing and he was in a wheelchair, I didn't think about it at first. My brother's like, oh, this time I went down, I got a hint. I went, oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
But they've talked a lot. That's my question. Have they talked a lot about like what she needs?
I don't know if
physically?
they did, because she always shies away from it.
So that's, because to me, I would think
she's
been talking for 13 years. Because
I think she's worried about scaring him off with talking about what she needs.
I guess, you know what?
Because they showed one conversation where she said, you need to push my wheelchair. And it seemed like that was the first he was hearing about what she needed.
I kind of just assumed maybe that was a 90-day reenactment.
Yeah.
But I guess not. Or I guess if he's never gone over there, they've never talked about what he would actually helping with.
I feel like there was not a conversation had. Two ways I'm seeing this. There was not a conversation had by Alina and Caleb about what she needed as far as requirements for her to be in a place that needed to be wheelchair accessible, need to be on the first floor, or they needed an elevator, or they needed everything to be a lower place.
I needed that clear. Like, did she tell him all this?
Or this was preempted by production, and this was done to be a little bit of a road bump. A speed bump in their relationship.
Possibly. Because, y'all, I kind of could see, depending on how... It just depends. But I think this could go well.
But I'm saying I don't think this was done intentionally on Caleb's idea. I think, if anything, this will be a learning experience for him saying, I'm so sorry, I did not think about this.
Well, like I said, I didn't think about it at all. So if they haven't talked about it a lot, he probably wouldn't have thought of that. Or you probably, too... If you're booking a hotel in most of the states, you just assume every hotel is going to have an elevator.
Yeah.
You just don't think about that at all. And y'all, they're going in this hotel and it's beautiful. It's like an apartment, but they're thinking
it's a little tacky for me, but yeah.
Well, yeah. But
I will say, the thing about it is you never really want to be on the first floor. You always want to be so you can get a review. So I understand he might ask for.
But like, because they have to go up the stairs, and I would not. You don't think... I'm not defending him.
No.
I mean this is that we don't know how much she communicated or whatnot. Like, does he know that she needs a smaller toilet or a step to get up to the toilet? I would not have known that. So this is just going to take a lot of communication.
I agree.
And her asking for what she needs. And I don't know if
I
don't know.
I don't know if she does do that.
I don't think she does. Because she's talking about on the way there, like, she wants to be picked up in his big, strong arms. Yeah. And I just don't know.
Well, she even said, I don't want Caleb to see me as just a little person. So she's very concerned about him meeting her as her and not her, what she cannot do.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little bit playing both sides to say he should have known this. And I think they were making a big deal about I think that was production. Sometimes you see things and you go, yeah, this wasn't telegraphed earlier. This feels like they're making a big deal so we can have a conversation later about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it felt like. And I can imagine in the next episode of Alina saying, Caleb, you should have done this for me. And then him getting a little bit upset about it and being a little bit of a miff, so we can see that happening. I've just watched this show enough to know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You know what I was struck by? And I mean, Kate, if she hasn't communicated, I think Caleb is in for a shock. Only being that, just in watching, either two things are happening. Either Elijah is doing so much for her to be nice all the time, or B, she actually can't do a lot. But it's just, I was watching this going, Elijah is like a full-on caretaker for her.
I agree.
He is ironing
Picking
for
her up, ironing.
He's helping her cook. He puts her in every car. Like, it's just, and and she can do a lot. She can get up and drive and all. So I'm like, but wait, why are you picking up in her car? But I guess her car is formatted. Do we see her get up and drive?
I'd be interested to know for any sissies
just
who
'cause
are
she's
working
traveling?
with little people or people who have severe, I would say, logistic disabilities, who they cannot get up in.
My thing that I want to know is it just, it looks like because they're traveling, like Caleb's going to have to do a lot?
Yeah.
Or is that just because when you're in your own life, in your life where you live, you have things set up that you are more independent?
And that's why her parents were really concerned about, is he going to know what to do? And they're like, Elijah's coming. And they're like, oh, okay, fine.
So they're the most interesting couple to me.
I agree. But anyway,
yeah.
The toilet is too high. The bed is too high. All of it is not really to her specifications or what she really needs. And she actually thinks the room is ugly, and I kind of agree with her. I think it's gaudy.
Yeah.
But
I meant like it was big and like
she
an apartment.
is upset. She's like, I don't know if he understands my abilities. And Elijah volunteers to stay the night. And
she wants to go to the airport without Elijah, right? Or go to the airport.
No, she wants to go with him. And Elijah's like, so what if he's not a gentleman to you? And which is a fair thing. And this is the other thing where she's playing both sides. She wants to meet him by herself to create a romantic moment, but she's worried about that he's not going to know everything. And I would prefer to have Elijah at least close by, like even if he's not at the airport, or even if he's not like maybe like waiting outside the airport for them to tell them what she needs.
It's hard. I mean, it's not hard. It's just it's heartbreaking because Alina, that's all she walks through the world going, are people going to treat me differently because of the way I look? So that's literally something she thinks about 24/7.
And so maybe her life is going between those two poles.
But it's heartbreaking.
I don't want to be my stature. I don't want to be a little person.
And also, she's like, I live this. I don't want to talk about it every day and tell everybody what I have to fucking do with my life and how I have to live my life. No one else has to. That's unfair.
And then when he makes, and so in a way, both of them.
But she's got to do that
exactly
if she wants a relationship with him, and because she just has to. But I understand why she's just would not want to fucking do that.
But at the same time, I don't know if it's on him to do all of the research.
It's not on him.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not on anyone. And this goes for anything, whether it's physical needs, mental needs, emotional needs. It's not on your partner to read your needs.
Yeah.
It's for you to communicate what you need to your partner.
Right. Especially for someone who you could foresee with something romantic with.
Yeah.
And so anyway, y'all, the thing is, she's very excited. She's also very nervous, but he's going to only see, the thing that kind of broke my heart is she's like, I'm really scared that he's going to see me and go, ew.
And that's like her innermost.
I can tear up thinking about it. Because,
it's just so, it's heartbreaking that she has to think that.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to do that. But
I don't think he's going to do that.
But we'll see. We'll see. That's all.
Because y'all, we don't even see them meet. And that's the thing. they are making this their big romantic story.
Yeah,
obviously. They also did that with Big Pred. So I don't know.
Boy,
I'm not going to throw my pad, but something like that.
I feel like this show was 5 hours long. I feel like this has been the Lawrence of Arabia podcast. We have traveled.
Yes, it's long. Very, very long. Now that you farted on me. Disgusting.
Oh, y'all. So go to our, book us on Cameo if you want a cameo for the holiday. We're happy to do it, but you better get them in soon. Separately, not together, because we're not together when you hear this, but you better do that soon. Also, y'all leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. That's wonderful. But more than anything, share the gift of gay.
Share the gift of gay. Tell your friends. Tell your family.
Tag us.
Tell us about reality gay.
You see a funny meme on Instagram, tag your friend and say, hey, say, Shanice, these are those two queens I was talking about. Or whatever your friend's name is. I love the name Shanice. Anyway, we call these people lonely hearts because, Poods, aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love in all the wrong places?
Yes. Who did we even cover this section?
We did Mike. We did...
Got it. Yes. And... if you write a song about a one woman and you call another woman to help come EP your music video, you might need to process that.
You might need to yeah, I bet she paid for some of it.
Oh, totally. So call us.
Call us.
Call us.